And we are back with another episode of the Hockey Princess podcast. I am your host, the Hockey Princess. We have Crusty Old Guy once again. Folks, just as
Hi.
a reminder, make sure to hit that like and subscribe on either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, however you watch or listen to us ramble on a weekly basis. You are going to the last couple of games this season. Please, please, please wait for the whistle. Do not get up all the pucks in play. The food will still be there, the beer will still be there, and the bathrooms will still be there.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will.
Everything will still be there. Nothing's going away ever.
Nothing's going away. So please just wait. And if you're
Yes.
going to the last handful of games this season, highly recommend Su Taqueria El Rey del Taco over on Ogden. The food is great. The people are fantastic. And we basically live there during the season.
It's really yummy.
Christy, let's get into it. Do you want to talk about the best thing that happened to you this entire season first? Or do you want to talk about
Sure.
it when we get to the game?
Whichever. You
wanna-
direct me.
You can. The floor is yours, Krusty.
The floor is mine.
Yes. See, this is
Okay.
me giving you time, not just saying, do this, do that.
Wow. But see, this is the only time I'm allowed to do something is when we're right here and then I'm allowed to talk. But you're saying I can handle more responsibility.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's get back. So, I don't know, where do you want me to start with the unbelievable experience of last night? Am I supposed to talk about my adventures out east?
Oh, I figure we can do Adventures Out East when we talk about the games. I was
Okay.
thinking about you meeting an Olympian and getting to wear a gold medal.
Okay. Yeah, so I was really hoping with all of your technology you could put up a picture, but I guess I'll have to put up this picture and hopefully, and I can't find a way to not glare it.
There you go.
Am I doing better? Let's see. Oh
doing
my
it.
goodness. Hold on, wait. I'm going to try to attempt to fix this for a second. Because I think if I... Hold on. Wait. You're not waiting, are you?
I've waited enough, Krusty.
That's what everybody says. Hold on. Whoa.
That's just
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. That should
There
be
you
a
go.
better picture. Still
All right,
struggling.
Krusty, tell the story.
Okay, I forgot. So basically, this is a picture. As
Because
we
for
were
our listeners, they don't know what you're showing on screen.
Right, but for those watching this, okay, so now I will describe the picture. On our way to the game last night, as we were walking from our wonderful restaurant to the United Center, a group of people walked past us, didn't notice anything, and then the hockey princess pointed out to me that two of the people, it looked like they both had USA Murphy jerseys.
Yep. This is why
Yeah.
Krusty keeps me around, because I notice these things.
Yeah, so she noticed that, and I will admit this, in my retirement and not being around a lot of people, Krusty, for the first time in his life, has gotten more talkative. These are two younger boys that are in the jerseys, and I just kind of yell out to them, "Are those Abby Murphy jerseys?" And I can only assume the guy who was her brother whipped his head around and said, "Do you know who Abby Murphy is?" And I proceeded to yell back, "Everyone knows who Abby Murphy is," and out popped Abby Murphy. And, for me, I've met people throughout life occasionally. I went completely fanboy, fangirl, whatever it's called, and basically almost went blank. She was unbelievably nice. I said congratulations. I tried not to say anything too stupid. And then I did. I said, I know you, I'm sure you get the, but could we get a, and then as I'm trying to ask for a picture, her brother comes out, would you like me to take some pictures of you guys? So thank you to the brother who made this much easier on me. And right before the picture, she reached in a bag, took out the gold medal and put it around my neck, and then took pictures with us. One of the neatest experiences I've ever had in my life. So to Abby Murphy, thank you so much.
Yep.
You made an old man's day, year, century, however you want to look at it. You know, the fact that she put that around my neck was very, very cool. So that was it. So basically last night's game, as I told Hockey Princess, and I could really care less what happens.
Yeah.
It really just did not matter. So that's my huge news. It really struck me. It just came out of the blue.
Yeah.
And so, you know, occasionally speaking up is not a bad thing. I'm amazed at the people that want to share in their accomplishments. And it seemed like she was more than happy to share with some, and her brother was, he was excellent.
Yeah.
So that's the crusty story from last night. And as you can tell, I'm still retelling it, a little juiced up about it. So thank you, Abby.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Abby. That was awesome. And Christy's correct. I have seen my dad meet a lot of people. We've been very privileged being able to meet as many people in the hockey world as we have from all different aspects. We have interviewed your favorite hockey player of all time, and that is the most excited I have ever seen you to meet, is meeting Abby Murphy. That is like truly starstruck reaction, because you usually don't. That's a me thing. There was the longest time where I just couldn't talk to people. You don't get like that. So that was...
Yes, and now look at you. Now
You
you've
pulled the
got your
hockey
own...
princess, just full...
Yeah, I'm sure some of it was the fact that just so unexpected, so random. I would have never thought of anything like that. And yeah. So yeah, when I say I lost it, I
Oh no, Krusty fully lost it.
completely lost it. I'm sure her parents and the rest of the family watching me was like, oh my goodness. And I think she got a big kick out of it.
Oh yeah.
So, but she's a very famous person, at least in my hockey world. And the beauty of it, again, for me was, if anybody's listened to this show, they know how much of an Abby Murphy fan I am and have been since the last Olympics. So for it to be her was also just another, you know, local girl does good. Okay, I think we should talk about others. I could just sit here and smile and talk the whole show if you'd like.
Fair. No, because we've got some things. We've got some drama in the hockey world. Some actual
We do?
stuff. Oh yeah.
Okay.
We've got a head coaching change with Vegas. Cassidy's gone. Torts is in for 8 games and the playoffs, however long that looks. Aside from that, they really don't have any plan after that. Did check in with Serena, our friend over in Vegas, to just get the tea on, you know, in the Vegas world, was this surprising? Did you see it coming? Because I personally am very much in my Chicago bubble, prospect bubble. And so when there's dramatic changes from other teams, I'm a little, you know, I don't often see them coming just because I'm in my bubble sometimes. But Serena said, you know, this wasn't a if but a when sort of situation, that they figure it's been in the pipeline to have a head coaching change at a point. but it was a little surprising that it was Torts. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, the sleep paralysis demon of the NHL is back.
Yes. Lots of wacky good stuff with this. If we are an organization now that believes in organically growing, the Las Vegas Golden Knights are the polar opposite of us. They wait for nothing. They don't mess around. They don't even need stuff to be growing. They make decisions and move forward. So before the playoffs started, nothing went right this year. They were still in a playoff position. They're like, getting in is not good enough. And so I think they figured, why not? Hearing more about this, there was already some disconnect between players. From what I've heard, Cassidy is not the easiest person to play for.
And Torts is a delight.
There was even players that had a problem with him the cup year. So, take that for what it's worth. As far as Torts, remember, Torts did coach two of these people. He coached Jack Eichel and Hannafin at the Olympics. Again, is it kind of the same message? Yes. As far as the hardness, but it's just at least a different voice, and that's what they were looking for. They don't mess around.
Yeah.
But I have heard that the Cassidy thing was real. There's just, and as we hear in hockey a lot, people stop listening. And once that happens, this game is just, the beauty of it is it's so difficult to win a cup. It's so difficult to make it to the finals. There, you always hear that buy-in to the system. And if everybody doesn't buy in, it breaks down easily.
And I think a great example truly of the buy-in, unfortunately, I mean, not this year because they're riddled with injuries and kind of dead at the moment, is the Florida Panthers the past couple of years. I think that buy-in after beating Boston was at round 1 in 2023, you saw the buy-in skyrocket, and they kind of just kept that pace.
Exactly. And it's everybody playing the same way and doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And that's a cup winner. We can point to different organizations that haven't won a cup, haven't even made it to the cup finals. But if you look at the Carolina Hurricanes, you either buy in or you're gone.
Yeah. You either play for Rod or you don't.
Yes. And Rod just gets rid of you. Rod's a very intense person and a physical specimen also. So he expects a certain type of play, and you have to buy into it or you're gone.
Yeah.
And everybody buys into it. They know their role. Have they gotten to the promised land? No.
But the buy-in is there.
Working? I don't know. They're always good. They just can't get over the hump. That's a whole different angle.
Right.
They don't have the talent of the top-end talent teams, if you ask me.
Right.
But they always seem to get it done. So I guess that's where Vegas is at. That is a veteran group. So also, it's sometimes hard to get through to a veteran group. They've heard it all before. They're living the life in Vegas. So we'll see what happens with it.
Yeah.
I would assume if Torts makes it 2 rounds, he has a job next year. I expect if they go out in the first round, he does not. He's Torts. I'm sure he is thrilled to be coaching.
Well, see. Because right now, folks, the wild card races on both sides are a little disgusting, but especially in the West. I think so. As of right now, it stands your first round is Vegas versus Edmonton. Edmonton has home ice. I think if you come out of that, you're definitely more comfortable in probably having a job next year. I think if you don't beat Edmonton, you're gone. Um,
Yeah, and that's a tall ask. Is it possible? Sure.
yeah,
Especially
I
if,
mean the
if
Pacific's the
Draisaitl
worst
isn't
division,
100%, it becomes a lot more possible.
right?
So again, I enjoy the way Vegas operates. Again, it's the polar opposite of us. Nobody messes. They don't mess around. They haven't since the beginning. Will
Right.
they pay a price at some point in time? Everybody seems to think
Everybody
so.
does.
At some point in time, they do. But as of now, they've been in existence, what, 6 or 7 years, and have missed the playoffs once. And made it to the Cup Finals twice. So far a good record, but, you know, we will see.
Everybody,
It makes for some great drama.
I think
It
everybody
definitely caught
falls at
me
a
by
point.
surprise.
Next up with the drama world, Tree Living is out of Toronto. We've got some interim GMs in the meantime. One of them being the dad of one of our prospects, Jack Pridham. But we've got two interim GMs. And to add to this drama, because a lot of people were looking possibly in different directions, who replaces Tree Living, who has the worst job in all of hockey, and that is managing the Toronto Maple Leafs. And so, with that being said, Nil is signed for a 2-year extension as the GM of the Dallas Stars because that was a big piece in the rumor mill of does Nil go? Does somebody else go? But Nil's locked up with Dallas. And just the drama of Toronto continues. It's the running gag to kind of poke fun at Toronto. Everybody does it. I was listening to the Steve Dangle podcast, which is primarily Toronto information. Like they're based out of Toronto, they cover Toronto stuff. And they were talking about how there's a constant delay in everything that they do. Well, okay, Shanahan's gone. Okay, but you have to wait a year to get rid of the other guy because you can't do that too quickly. Okay, so things are still not working, so you have to wait another year to make another big change. They can't just make complete changes. There's also the rumoring of, this next GM, one of their first things that they're going to have to do is figure out what they do with Austin Matthews. And I think that is going to be a big, giant ask for anybody who steps into this position, whether you are a veteran person in the league, whether, it's a former GM from somewhere else or a current GM and you just slide over to Toronto. I think that is a huge ask because if you keep Toronto or if you keep Austin Matthews, you send a message. And if you get rid of Austin Matthews and truly kind of burn things, you also send a message. And so it's Kyle Davidson's worst nightmare, to be honest, of what choice do you make?
Yeah, correct. There's a million of choices. Number one, you have to decide whether you're keeping this head coach
Yeah.
who has not done
Oh,
what
he's
you
gone,
thought.
I'd imagine.
Again, I would imagine, but as you pointed out, they're on a delay.
Yeah.
Yes, if you are changing GMs, you should change this whole kit and caboodle. Then you need to have a sit down with Austin Matthews.
Yeah.
And he's not going to tell you what you want to hear, which is just like, all right, we're going to keep things together. We're going to move this way. You good with that? He's going to go, I got 2 years left. I don't say I'm good with anything because Austin Matthews has already shown he doesn't sign long-term contracts. Okay? He goes 3 years and re-ups for max. That's the way he does it, and more power to him.
Absolutely.
Could they do what KD has done here? I can't imagine Toronto stands for a down to the nuts and bolts rebuild. There's no way that fan base tolerates being the bottom team for 4 or 5 years like the Hawks are. So I think it's going to be kissing some Austin Matthew babies and saying, could you please stay? The thought process of Matthew Knives going somewhere for some good prospects and good players, that's an NHL-ready superstar knocking at the door for $6 million. He is not going anywhere. Okay, so Blackhawk fans, get that out of here.
Yeah, I thought we were done with this when there was the rumor with the like Flower trade or whatever. I thought we were done with this. I thought we were over this. We're not getting him. We're not getting anybody.
Well, I just, as I said, I don't see how they decide that they are going to completely blow it up. What isn't helpful for them either, all of a sudden now they're playing okay enough to enable them to be outside the top 10, and I believe then their pick goes someplace else. But
It goes to Boston.
so if you lose, it's top 10 protected, and they're bringing up kids who now are not losing. Well, they're only losing at a 50% clip, which was a lot different. And again, like the show you listen to, the shows I listen to, at the end of the day, for anybody new to hockey, Toronto is the epicenter of hockey. It's where all the major shows come out of. So there's always a Toronto feel, and the beauty thing is like in other sports, people either love or hate. And there's a whole group that loves to see Toronto in misery. So I don't know what they do. You rip off that complete Band-Aid, there's still talent there.
Oh, for sure.
But you've got questions at goaltending, questions defensively, and questions about...
You've had questions defensively
Who gives a crap?
For like years.
Yes. I mean, the only questions that they don't have is the ex-Hawk McCabe.
Yeah.
He's a solid second pairing, been solid the whole time.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, that was another wacky one, and that'll be drama all summer.
Love it. We've got some new faces with teams in college hockey being knocked out in the Frozen Four. So you got Trey Augustine, who is from Michigan State, is a Detroit Red Wings prospect. He is reporting to Grand Rapids. This is kind of the second piece in the future goaltending pipeline for Detroit. If all goes well, you're looking at Sebastian Cossa and a Trey Augustine tandem. This was expected for Augustine because I believe this was his junior year that wrapped up. You don't want him to go for his fourth year, especially because there's room. There's room in Detroit. Augustine has been progressing year after year at Michigan State. Why not? I think it's time for his next step. So he will be reporting to Grand Rapids. You've got Porter Martone, again, with Michigan State being knocked out, already played his first game as a Philadelphia Flyer. I think this is great for Philly fan base as the Flyers are having their kind of resurgence of we're not dead yet this year. I think he slots in perfectly for them. You also have the Ka-chow Lightning McQueen coming out of Providence College, is reporting to the San Diego Gulls after 1 year with Providence College. And he is an Anaheim prospect, so he is reporting straight to San Diego. I would imagine he's in San Diego for this year, and then they kind of adjust. Ideally, I think, if I'm tinfoil hat running Anaheim, he'll stay in San Diego for at least the beginning of next year because you have so much center depth And I believe he is one where a lot of talent is there, but it needs a little bit more structure. And so it doesn't harm you putting this top 10 pick in the minors for a little bit while you kind of figure out, who's short term, who's long term, who do you maybe want to flip to wing to slot in McQueen at a point up in Anaheim.
Yeah, the rich are getting richer. And, that's the one thing we talk about on the show all the time. Yes, we have a lot of prospects, but so does everybody else.
Right.
But yeah, this is the fun time of year where people finish their college stuff and then automatically to the big club. If a club is out of playoff contention, like the Hawks, you give them a good taste. Or somebody who's as talented as Porter Martone, you say, hey, big boy, we'd like some help.
Yeah.
And let's see what you can do, and that's a big ad for Philly. So.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a couple of other additions, but we're going to get to them when we talk about Rockford in a second because we have some additions. But getting into our prospect report, we got 3 assists for Jack Pridham out of the Kitchener Rangers. Currently, Kitchener is sitting 3-0 in their best of 7 in the postseason right now. Merrick Vanacker, you've got 3 goals and 3 assists. Again, Brantford's also sitting 3-0. AJ Spellacy back in the lineup. You've got 1 goal and 2 assists. Windsor sitting 3-up in the postseason. Mason West, you're looking at 25 points in 38 games. I believe the USHL finishes up their regular season this upcoming week, and I think finishes off in the weekend. Roman Kanserov, you've got 4 points in 4 games for the postseason for Metallurg. So they are continuing hot in the KHL. And then kind of leading into prospects / bleeding into Rockford. University of Minnesota Duluth, huge upset taking out Penn State, which is great. Because if anybody's listened to this show, they know I'm a big Adam Guyon fan. So I think that was a huge win for him. But unfortunately, they do lose to University of Michigan in the second round of Frozen Four. So he is out. He has signed and is coming to Rockford now for the tail end of this season. And then figuring all things considered, he will be in Rockford next year, which is great. You're also figuring that he potentially could go to Worlds for Slovakia. Was it like a month and a half, like a couple of months from now? You'd imagine so. And I'd imagine for Worlds, he will actually get some start time, unlike the Olympics. But again, we shall see. But he is signed. He is going to Rockford. This is great for him. We talk about him at least once a week. Big fan of this. I think a lot of people were expecting that he was going to go back for his junior year. I kind of did too, but I also don't think that, this is a complete rush job by the Blackhawk front office by taking him out of his sophomore year. He has shown them a lot of hockey since being drafted. As a reminder, Guyon and Augustine were drafted the same year. Augustine just had 3 years in college. Guyon had 1 more year at the USHL level and then went to University of Minnesota Duluth. Had a bit of a slump his freshman year, but really turned it around this sophomore year. And if everything stays the same at the Chicago level, or even, crazy things happen, Bloom gets flipped. I know Krusty disagrees, but on the off chance Bloom gets flipped at a point and you see Drew up more in the Chicago level, Guyon's going to get games in Rockford, and I think that's going to be good. I think that's the next step for him. He's played a lot of hockey this year and kind of has shown the front office between this time last year and now that, his improvement has been pretty drastic for his sophomore year. So why not bring the kid over? More prospects for me to watch. And, this probably means that I can swing Krusty into going to a Rockford game next season. Fingers crossed.
Probably, kind of some nerve-wracking news for Bloom. This might be a segue to Drew coming up next year. Unless your game plan is to bring Guy on and still only play him 30% of the starts in Rockford.
And I think if that's the case, that's fine too. I don't think he needs to be brought up to Rockford and then get more games than he can handle. I think you need to kind of ease him into the next level.
Yeah, I think either way would work. 30% of the games is probably close to a college schedule. I would assume borderline. So for me, I think there will be a complete competition between Drew and Bloom, and they've got nothing invested in Arvid Soderblom. To my meaning on that is they would not have a problem sending him down, and if somebody wants to claim him, somebody can claim him.
Right.
Remember, if anybody claims anybody off of waivers, they have to put them on the big league club. So you're taking a gamble. That's what it says to me, and it lets you know. You now have your goaltender. You'll be teaching him. You'll be bringing somebody else, bringing him along. I think it's all good.
Yeah, I think it's great. I'm very excited. Another Rockford edition prospect that we really haven't talked a ton about, so that's on me, folks, to be honest, is your Yuri Felkman. Has signed an ATO with the Rockford Ice Hogs and has reported to Rockford already, but then I imagine, is in Rockford next year. A couple of quick stats about Felkman. He's 20. He's from Bedard's draft class, so that 2023 year. Centerman, 6'4" centerman. Christy, doesn't that sound great?
Sounds great to me. I like it.
Because massive centerman, has been playing in the National League for the SCL Tigers for the past couple of years. This past year has hit about 20 points in 52 games. He's definitely an interesting piece. It's definitely an appealing piece because, a lot of our guys, a lot of the younger, flashier prospects that everybody really likes to talk about, they kind of got all one thing in common. They're a little tiny. And Yuri Felkman's a very huge dude. So I'm excited to see how he fits in with Rockford. I'm also just excited to see more younger kids down in Rockford because right now, with barring injuries and call-ups that have happened throughout the year, it's a lot of AHL veterans, Drew and Savvy. So I'm excited to see some of these younger kids come in, and I'm really intrigued to see how Felkman works, kind of in Rockford.
Yeah, and, you've got to hand it to KD. He has been taking a lot of swings for bigger players.
Yeah.
And he understands that that's a need also. And, we're going to have a good amount of them coming up, and we'll see what pans out. For those of everybody who's saying, okay, yeah, now we'll get bigger players, we'll be meaner, we'll be tough. It's not necessarily for that.
Right.
You can look at our two power forwards during the Cup years, was Troy Brower and Brian Bickle. Neither of them did you think was an unbelievable, nasty power forward.
But they were giant and they got the job done.
But the thing about this size is people can't take you off the puck. And you pay a price to run into somebody who's 6'4" and built like a shithouse.
Yeah.
And players are like, I don't want to continue to do that. And that's what you're looking for. That's the job of a power forward on these lines. hold puck possession, and then go where you're told to go, usually front of the net, and hang out. So I think KD's, the good on KD.
Yeah.
And I know I'm talking too much, but
Yep.
I'm excited today.
All right, then let's jump over to the big club really quick. Really quick because we really don't have a ton of good stuff to talk about. But Christy, you were over in the East Coast. You went to said games.
Yes, as everybody is pointing out to me, I'm the problem.
Yes.
It's not just Taylor Swift pointing it out to me that I'm the problem. Everyone. Sorry, I had to make the Taylor Swift joke, because, since Hockey Princess did the Ralph Covert from the Bad Examples quote of not dead yet, I figured I would up it. And for anybody who knows who the Bad Examples are, right on, Ralph Covert, Glenbard West Hilltopper. How's that for a derailment? Yes, I was in Philly, and then we went to New York. Philly, a very nice rink. The beauty about rinks newer than the United Center. That whole walk-around area is massive with so much room and so many good, yummy things. I liked the rink. I sat in the 200 level, which is the upper deck for them. Great sight lines. I got in a corner. And then the game started. As I told Hockey Princess, I saw Sasha starting to take his first lap. I didn't make it quite down there. I don't like to make everybody go through my craziness. I figure it's a little much. I can always make Hockey Princess go through it, but other people getting back to it, and then they fell apart. They didn't play. There was no want. There was no nothing. Very disappointing. And the one thing that I've gotten on the road a decent is I hate getting the pity looks. That, you guys are just so awful. It's not worth my energy to yell about it.
Yep.
And make fun of you because you're that bad. I can't wait till we're a little better and I get some more normal, constructive pushback from fans, not just drunken stupidity.
Yeah.
But Philly was very nice. Had a good time, and then I went to Madison Square Garden, which, me and Hockey Princess talked a good amount. The nostalgia of it is something. As I told her, I love the fact that I did not have announcers every break screaming and yelling at me, and lights flashing everywhere, and there was people just talking in a normal tone. You knew where you were at. You knew the product, even that their terrible product right now is what it's about. And as bad as the Rangers were, they came out and beat the living shit out of us.
Yep.
And, very disappointed in the fact that Artie took a terrible cross-check by Connor Sherry, and then JT Miller came and got him high on the same hit. And the response from this Blackhawk team
was Austin Matthews level.
Yes. And that has me thinking of other things that I am almost getting a little worried if this team isn't a little cliquish. That some people get along, some people don't. I need everybody to be a good teammate, as we stated a couple of weeks ago on the show. There was nothing good to talk about.
Nope. That's why we talked about other things during the show, guys. Like prospects and meeting Abby Murphy.
Well, yes. I mean, there's nothing better than meeting Abby Murphy. God, what a nice person. But I had a great time in New York. I really did enjoy Madison Square Garden. We sat in like the 200 level, almost kind of behind the net, and they got little TVs for their first row people. I had somebody in the first row on the section next to me. I don't know how he did it, but his TV had the Chicago feed, and he was a Blackhawk fan.
Incredible.
But he must have spent a lot of money because towards the end of the game, he just kept on yelling, "Let's go Hawks," which I really can't do when you're down 5-1.
Sure you can.
I reserve the fact that I'm not, it just looks silly. I'm all for it when we're in it, but not after you look that bad. But again, to each his own.
Yeah.
But I really had a good time there, and I really enjoyed the building.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy the product on the ice.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And that brings us to last night. I know we're up against it. You want to
Yep.
talk about last night? Or
Um, it was great to watch Frondell get his first goal. That was
yes.
great. That kid is so cool. So cool. Does he have things to work on? Sure. He's 18. So does everybody. We've got veterans on this team that have stuff that they need to work on. But this kid is so cool, and he's going to get even cooler. And my God, it is just really nice. I told you this a couple of weeks ago. All I want is somebody to take the puck into the offensive end and like be able to hold on to it. Gosh, and there were a couple of times where he was able to do it. Just the vision, and he just seems to see the ice differently than some of the younger kids. Like your Frank, your Connor, your Lardis. Like he just sees things differently. I think there is, even though he is 18, there seems to be a level of maturity to his game that you aren't seeing with maybe some of the younger North American players. I'm going to give mad props to just the way Swedes coach. But there just seems to be a level of maturity to his game in the way that he sees everything, in the way that he plays. And I just can't wait to see that continue. Yeah, it was good until it wasn't. One day, our power play won't be sad. And I'm not even asking for like a regular 5-on-4, but when we have more than a minute of 5-on-3 and we just spend the entire time passing it to each other, gosh, that is the most infuriating and boring thing imaginable. So maybe we should not be having fighting classes during practice and trying to figure out how to run this power play that has been bad since before Thanksgiving. But it's the last 15 games, so nothing really matters anyway. Yeah, it was good until it wasn't, and overtime is just you kind of know that it's going to be a loss at this point. And especially, I really wasn't impressed with the pairing that Jeff threw out for overtime, nor have I really ever been this year, to be honest. And so kind of when I saw those three skid out, I knew it was game over pretty quick.
Yeah, number one, your Frondell discussion. Yeah, no doubt about there's no way he's 18. He does not play like an 18-year-old. He doesn't see the game like. It's a different level. It's beautiful to watch. They had a good first, and then just were bloody awful in the second.
Yeah.
And then just made mistakes. And, as far as Frondell, is he going to make mistakes? Yes. That first goal, Bashel said he came to the bench after it and said, should I have stayed with him? And Bashel's like, yeah, but he goes, don't worry about it.
Right.
We're teaching. We're just teaching.
Right.
Yes. And come next year, he will stay with him.
No
biggie.
The fact that he came to the bench and knew
Yes.
right off the bat, like you're already in the correct train of mind.
Yes. And, I mean, he's just a different player mentally.
He's awesome.
So
He's awesome.
he is, and the rest of it, as I was telling you last night, I am unbelievably impressed with Bert's play.
Oh, absolutely.
That second goal of his was an unbelievable hustle goal. He was all over the zone for about 40 seconds. Side, front, side, all over, and then gets the goal.
Yep.
Just showing everybody, hey, keep moving and keep working. Keep moving, keep working.
Yep.
We've got a lot of young players that understand the rush game. But you need to keep working in your zone and keep moving. Also, I do agree with you. I didn't like the pairing out there. Frondell looked gassed. But from my viewpoint, until we have it like the dynasty years where you knew Kane and Taves were coming out with Duncan Keith, until then, I see no reason, excuse me, why Bert isn't out there. Right. After the game he's played, why isn't he out there for the first shift? But again, that's something they will work on.
Yep.
They will get better at 3-on-3, and they will get better at the power play. So.
And with that being said, guys, we got to wrap up. Just as a reminder, folks, make sure to hit that like and subscribe on either Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, however you watch or listen to us ramble on a weekly basis. If you are going to the last couple of games this season, highly recommend Su Taqueria El Rey del Taco over on Ogden. The food is great. The people are great. And folks, if you are going to a game, any hockey game at all, please wait for the whistle. Do not get up while the puck's in play. That is all, and we will talk to you guys next week.